So we're here with Ravi Roth. Why don't you tell us about your journey from NC to New York?
Well, I'm from Scranton, Pennsylvania, well, a little town outside of Scranton, Pennsylvania called Dalton, and I did theater growing up. I started when I was 5 years old. I did a production of The Wizard of Oz, and I got chickenpox during the rehearsal, and I had to back out right before the show started. But I knew at that point that being an actor was what I wanted to do. And so I did it all throughout growing up, and I found out my sophomore year in high school that I can actually go to college for musical theater. So I looked up like every school and auditioned to pick 30 of them. Crazy. And I got into one of my dream schools, the Boston Conservatory. It was a 4-year program. And at that school, I got my ass kicked, and I learned about the real world really quick, because I came from like being the biggest fish in the smallest pond, and at Boston I was like everybody else. You know, there was like 50 kids in my class starting off, and a lot of the kids were all stars in their area, and a lot of them were much better than me, so I had a lot to learn. But I grew a lot and got pretty fierce, and by the end of senior year, we had our showcase, and then the day after showcase, I moved to New York. I moved in with my sister, who lives in Brooklyn, and I've been in New York ever since. So it's been yeah.
What was your first show that you did here in the city?
Okay, so when I first got here, I was like, I'm going to audition for everything, and I thought I was like a dancer, and I thought I mean, I grew as a dancer, but I came to school having 2 left feet. So I went in for the Grease, my Broadway show. I went in for Grease. They had an invited dance call, and I got my ass kicked, and I got cut. And since then, I waited for everything for the next 3 months until I crashed an audition, because I was non-acting at the time, for Slim Good Body, which is a one-man show where I go around the country by myself wearing a unitard with the muscle system on one side and the skeletal system on the other, and I sang, rapped, and danced about bones, calories, and cocaine to elementary school kids. And I got my equity card. So then I didn't have to like wait at 5 in the morning for everything. I can now I'm the union, and I quit that show, but it was the experience. And I came back to the city, auditioned for a bunch of stuff. I booked the Sioux School tour, and then I booked regional productions of Altar Boys in Cincinnati and St. Louis. And then I came back here and auditioned again for like another year, and then I got offered the part in New York. So I guess my first New York credit, the long answer to your question, was Altar Boys.
And what was that like performing that? That's a pretty heavy dance show.
Yes, Altar Boys is a very heavy dance show, but I got to play the awkward Jewish role. Mm-hmm. So he could be a little off, he could be a little, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So it totally worked. I can still break it down. I mean, I can move, but I definitely was allowed a little bit more leeway because I was the one that was out of place anyway in the show.
Do you have a comfort zone that you're more comfortable in, like the singing, the dancing, or the acting? Do you feel one of the 3 you're more comfortable in?
I would definitely say, like, when I moved to the city, I was most comfortable singing. And then over the years, the acting has just gone right up to par, if not even more now. So dancing's always going to be a struggle. I'm always going to get cut from the dance ball or be put into a mover track. But acting and singing are definitely like my strong points. I can move.
Yeah.
Move well, but I'm not going to be a dancer in anybody's show.
And now, what advice would you give to people who are just starting out in the industry?
If you're just starting out, I would just say go in for everything, like I did, just get seen, get known. It's going to take a while for you to get called back, because people have to build that trust in you. But you're going to gain more confidence by auditioning for everything. You're going to get much more comfortable with rejection, just putting yourself out there, immersing yourself in class. I mean, I wish I did when I was in Altar Boys. I was in it here for 2 years, and I took like 1 class the whole time. But immerse yourself in acting class, because being in college is like the whole point of being in college is to get great training in musical theater, but it's also to figure yourself out, And so now we're in New York, and we think we got it, but all the technique we learned and everything we learned about ourselves has to get reestablished. And it's something that's it's a muscle. It has to keep getting trained. So audition, take a bunch of classes, get into a singing class, an acting class, find a technique that works solid for you. Get into meet the casting people. They're the ones that are going to bring you in. Obviously, if you can get an agent, great. That helps out a lot. But if not, You know, I booked Altar Boys when I first booked Altar Boys. I got it from going to an open call because my agent tried to get me in, and the casting person, I don't know if I should say this, but the casting person said that I wasn't right for the role of the show. So I went in, and the director and choreographer were both in the room, and I guess I proved them wrong, you know.
And what are you working on now?
Well, I just closed production of A Letter to Ravi Roth, which is the New York Musical Theater Festival. And I guess we're waiting to see what happens with that. We won the Best New Promising New Musical and a bunch of other awards, the book and the lyrics, and hopefully that goes somewhere. And I just auditioned, you know, for a lot of different things. I have a couple of projects in the works that I can't quite talk about, but and I'm writing a lot. I started writing about a year ago. I did 2 solo shows because I was over just waiting around for the phone to ring, you know. I created my own stuff, so I'm working on that as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this.